Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. Well, what's happening? It's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your week daily morning show where we bring you the latest and everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, you guys already know what we're going to be talking about. Because, wow, if you've been living under a rock, go type crypto news into Google and you will see what has happened over the last 24 hours. Changpeng Zhao, the founder and, I'll just go ahead and break it to you, former CEO of Binance, has stepped down and pled guilty to charges involving money laundering, and we are going to be discussing that today. Now, the Securities and Exchange Commission came after Binance and Coinbase earlier on in this year, and when they did, they initially came after Coinbase, the exchange, but not Brian Armstrong, the man, but they came after Binance and CZ, the founder, CEO, and individual. And today, we have seen a guilty plea entered by CZ, and we are going to be talking about that and bringing you guys up to date on what is going on. Wall Street Journal has a very good article on the matter. We're going to talk about the Binance price, and we're also going to be looking at Bitcoin. So really appreciate all of you guys being here. Let's go ahead and read some chat. We've got Alex Nybo in chat coming in first saying, good morning. Good morning to you as well, Alex Nybo. Daniel J is in chat, said, good morning. Coin Operators here. Crypto Surge here. Sean O'Brien here. Queen in chat said financial sovereignty or nothing. Crypto and Cowboy said morning. Joe Bollier said good morning. Jeb Strikers in chat. Bulletproof Dean in chat. Coin Operator in chat. Just Forfeit in chat, I think is the name. P.39's in chat. No CZ, no doubt or uncertainty anymore. Market should go up, right? Yeah, we'll talk about that. GTR Bill in chat. Wreck the Bears in chat. Ryan Jenkins in chat said Jeb, the man, the myth, the legend. Good morning, ready to buy. Boom. Mike Lowry in chat, and we've got BetaBot in chat. Okay, let's get started. Let's go to the horse's mouth himself. Let's go over to CZ's Twitter. Now, again, some backstory. In 2017, CZ, Changpeng Zhao, founded Binance, and it quickly became the largest cryptocurrency hub for everything that existed. Pretty much everything in the cryptocurrency market revolved around Binance. Binance came very close to buying FTX and acquiring FTX. After FTX collapsed, they took one look at the books. They said, nope, not doing that. And so CZ has quickly rose to prominence as one of the most important people in the entire industry. And in my opinion, for a long time, he has led with a good degree of integrity and a good degree of being forthright. Now, obviously, there are criminal charges here, and he has taken responsibility for those. And we're going to read exactly what he says about this. And then we're also going to read some out of this Wall Street Journal article because some of these details are quite well detailed. CZ says, and I quote, we'll go ahead and read the full tweet here. Today, I stepped down as CEO of Binance. Admittedly, it was not easy to let go emotionally, but I knew that it was the right thing to do. I made mistakes, and I must take responsibility. This is the best for our community, for Binance, and for myself. Binance is no longer a baby. It is time for me to let it walk and run. I know Binance will continue to grow and excel with the deep bench it has. I'm pleased to announce that Richard Teng, our now former global head of regional markets, has been named the new CEO of Binance today. Richard is a highly qualified leader, and with over 3 decades of financial services and regulatory experience, he will navigate the company through its next period of growth. He will ensure Binance delivers on our next phase of security, transparency, compliance, and growth. Prior to joining Binance, Richard was the CEO of the Financial Services Regulatory Authority at Abu Dhabi Global Market, ADGM, Chief Regulatory Officer of the Singapore Exchange, SGX, and Director of Corporate Finance in the Monetary Authority of Singapore. Quite the track record. With Richard and the entire team, I'm confident that the best days of Binance and the crypto industry lay ahead. As a shareholder and former CEO with historical knowledge of our company, I will remain available to the team to consult as needed, consistent with the framework set in our U.S. agency resolutions. We'll talk about that in just a moment. What's next for me? I will take a break first. I've not had a single day off of real phone off break for the last 6.5 years. After that, my current thinking is I will probably do some passive investing, being a minority token / shareholder in startups in areas of blockchain, Web3, DeFi, AI, and biotech. I'm happy that I will finally have more time to spend looking at DeFi. I can't see myself being a CEO driving a startup again. I am content being an one-shot lucky entrepreneur. Should there be listeners, I may be open to being a coach, mentor to a small number of upcoming entrepreneurs privately. If nothing else, I can at least tell them what not to do. On that note, I am proud to point out that in our resolution with the U.S. agencies, they do not allege that Binance misappropriated any user funds and do not allege that Binance engaged in any market manipulation. Funds are SAFU. With that, I look forward to seeing the new leadership take the reins. Please join me in congratulating Richard on his well-deserved promotion. Onwards, CZ. That was posted at 3:36 p.m. yesterday, November the 21st, 2023. So, what happened here? We got to kind of back up and explain where that came from, because if you don't know what's going on, that kind of slapped you out of left field, and you're probably wondering what in the world just happened. I do want to point something out. CZ here is not trying to pretend that he didn't do anything wrong like Sam Bankman-Fried. He entered a guilty plea in what honestly could have taken like 18 months for the prosecutors to prove that he did anything wrong. So I do respect that. I do respect when somebody that does something wrong comes clean and they'll say, look, I screwed up and I'm willing to take responsibility for it. I get that. And so I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and jump on over to Wall Street Journal, and then we're going to jump onto charts to look at Binance and also look at the Bitcoin market. Binance founder Changpeng Zhao steps down, pleads guilty. Largest global cryptocurrency exchange will admit wrongdoing and agree to pay $4.3 billion in fines. This agreement was made under CZ, so he is also, when they say the crypto exchange will admit to wrongdoing and agree to pay $4.3 million in fines, $1 billion in fines, that is also CZ's doing, because that was something that was done with him as the head of the company, which he no longer is. The CEO of Binance stepped down and pleaded guilty to violating U.S. anti-money laundering requirements in a deal that may preserve the company's ability to continue operating according to court documents. According to these court documents, which we don't believe have actually been released just yet, it seems that CZ's admission of guilt will actually allow for Binance to continue operating in the United States, which almost, and again, we need more information about this. We need to really know what's going on. But it almost seems like CZ's taking one for the team one last time before he goes down. Now, I am not in personal contact with CZ. I've not had the pleasure of meeting him. But at the same time, what I will say is that from what I know, he seems to be handling this with at least some degree of discretion. Changpeng Zhao appeared in Seattle federal courts Tuesday and entered his plea, according to court records. Prosecutors accused Binance, which Zhao owns, of facilitating transactions with sanctioned groups. Binance encouraged U.S. users to obscure their locations so the firm could avoid complying with U.S. AML laws, prosecutors said. Binance pleaded guilty and agreed to pay fines totaling $4.3 billion, which includes amounts to settle civil allegations made by regulators. If they agreed to plead guilty and pay $4.3 billion in fines, it's probably true. Sometimes people will plead guilty to something just to get out of it. That's probably not what's going on here, because this is a lot. This is quite a lot of fine. Zhao has agreed to pay a criminal fine of $50 million personally, although that amount may be reduced based on separate civil penalties he has agreed to pay, court records show. Zhao's plea agreement isn't publicly available yet. Quoting the Twitter post that we just said here, Binance coin fell 5.3%. We'll look at that in a moment. The deal ends long-running investigations of Binance. Zhao founded the firm in 2017. And following the collapse of FTX, it's obviously been very much in the crosshairs of regulators. In a statement, Binance acknowledged that in the past it lacked needed compliance controls, but that the settlement marked it taking responsibility. And so essentially what we are looking at here is Binance is coming under accusation that they encouraged United States-based users to skirt anti-money laundering and KYC requirements so that they could transact with sanctioned groups. You're looking at groups based out of the Middle East, mainly out of Iran. And in fact, you can read here, as a result, Binance processed trades between Americans and users believed to be in Iran, valued at $899 million between January of 2018 and May of 2022, prosecutors said. Zhao knew he had a lot of U.S. customers, writing in a 2019 chat that it was better to ask forgiveness than permission for amassing so many American users despite laws that appeared to forbid doing so, according to prosecutors. Using new technology to break the law does not make you a disruptor, it makes you a criminal, Attorney General Merrick Garland said. The deal allows Zhao to retain his majority ownership of Binance, although he won't be able to have an executive role at the company. Justice Department's officials said he isn't eligible to return to the company. Zhao faces a maximum prison sentence of 18 months under federal sentencing guidelines. He will be sentenced at a later date. All right, so that's pretty much the meat and potatoes of what we're looking at here. Zhao has pled guilty to encouraging U.S. users to use part of the exchange that they're not allowed to use. And that really is something that we are going to have to face when we move into adoption on cryptocurrency. There's a few things I want to point out here. And by the way, just a quick heads up, we're going to talk about just some things that we're going to have to face as we go through the next decade of adoption in cryptocurrency. And then we're going to look at the charts, and we're going to keep going on from there. Now, a couple of things that we're going to need to face moving into the next 10 years is, number one, there is a very pervasive mentality in the cryptocurrency space of better to ask forgiveness than permission. And while I understand that, and while I also absolutely understand that there is a place for civil disobedience, you do have to be careful. You do have to be careful, especially when the civil disobedience is something that is not, life-threatening to people. What we're looking at here is we have to figure out how to navigate the regulatory waters. And there are quite a few different areas where the cryptocurrency space has kind of done whatever it wants. And it makes sense, but it is illegal. And so we're going to have to figure out, all right, is the law going to change? Is this going to get cracked down upon? What's going to happen from here? A good example of what I'm talking about would be Monero and the other privacy coins. If you want to talk about money laundering, sending a transaction through a privacy coin puts a break in the chain where you have no idea what happened before that transaction. So when you look at that, then you're going to run into regulatory issues there. Well, what about money laundering on on privacy coins? That's something that we're going to see happen. We're going to have to watch very closely and see how some of these different issues play out. Taxation. Most people do not report hardly anything on their taxes. That's going to become an issue. Things such as whether you're able to operate on a certain exchange in the United States or not. These are all factors that are going to become court cases, and they're going to lead to a lot of people in cryptocurrency probably going to jail, to be honest with you. And we're going to need to be careful and make sure that we are on the right side of the law as much as we can be, so we're not putting ourselves at risk, while also understanding that we do want to be a disruptor. We want to disrupt, but we also want to be careful not to go to prison, right? And so that's what CZ is experiencing right now, is he is looking at losing his chief executive officer position, $50 million, maybe 18 months of his life. Now, I do want to be clear. People are saying that CZ stole or misappropriated customer funds. The accusation on the table right now is that CZ, Changpeng Zhao, and Binance were allowing for transactions that may have constituted money laundering, and that they were allowing for millions of U.S. users to be on Binance when they weren't supposed to, because the exchange was not able to actually be, it was not supposed to be active in the United States. Those are accusations that, quite honestly, don't make me not like Binance. Those are things that need to change, and they're very, very, very serious problems, especially mainly the money laundering one and allowing and facilitating transactions with sanctioned crypto. That's a big problem. Don't get me wrong, that's a big problem. But I like the way that Binance is going about this, and that that Binance seems to be taking responsibility and saying, all right, we're going to turn from this. We're going to grow, and we're going to turn off better from here. So the kind of the first point I want to make here is this going to be the end of Binance? No. Binance is not going bankrupt. They're not going under, at least not yet. I mean, something could happen, but right now they're not going to just disappear. They're not going to fade off into obscurity. I think that Binance is going to be okay. Now, let's kind of just go ahead and mention our first sponsor today. And the reason that I want to bring up this sponsor today is because it has a lot to do with our topic today. As you guys know, I've been talking for the last several weeks about an exchange partner that we are working with that I love to trade on, called Apex. And the reason that today's episode is brought to you by Apex is because the kind of issues that you're facing with Binance right now, you will not ever face with a decentralized exchange. Apex is the #1 decentralized exchange for users that are trying to leverage trade. And I love Apex. I love its user interface, and I love the fact that it is a DEX, which means that You don't have to worry about the CEO going to prison. You don't have to worry about trying to be invested in a token price and the token crashing. You don't have to worry about the exchange coming under fire from regulators because it's a decentralized exchange. It is essentially just one gigantic, complicated smart contract that allows for you to trade on it. And so if something happens to the exchange, you're not going to lose your funds. Your funds are going to inevitably be Seifu because they're still sitting in your wallet. Whether the funds are Seifu or not has to do with what you do because you are connecting a wallet to Apex. And so I really like the decentralized exchange movement, and I really want to be a big backer of that because I want us to have sovereignty over our own finances, which generally means that we're the ones that are in control of our own finances. So philosophically, Apex lines up with that as well. If you guys are interested in trading the cryptocurrency markets, I highly recommend Apex Pro. You can find the link in the description box down below. They are affiliated also with Bybit. Bybit came over and helped them found that. So if you're used to Bybit's user interface, you're going to find a lot of similarities there, except it is a decentralized exchange. If you're interested in Bybit and you're outside the United States, then consider signing up for Bybit as well. That link is down below also. Now, let's go ahead and move on here, talk about Bitcoin and talk about BNB. Obviously, Binance is the showstopper today, so we're going to talk quite a bit about it. Over on CoinMarketCap, which, just a side note, is owned by Binance. So kind of funny we're looking at CoinMarketCap today. They bought CoinMarketCap a little over a year ago. Bitcoin is perfectly sideways in the last 24 hours, but not really. It's just in the last 24 hours at the same price that it was 24 hours ago. And the reason for that is, funnily enough, yesterday we talked about how Bitcoin was probably going to go through some consolidation, probably a drop. I was more bearish than bullish, and I said we're probably going to drop down to this uptrending level of support. You can go back and watch yesterday's stream. This uptrending level of support is the level that we looked at. And we've already seen Bitcoin come down here, fall down to this support level, bounce and rally, and come back and backtest $37,000, which I want to say is exactly what we were calling for. I could be wrong. You guys can go back and check, but I at least believe that we were talking about Bitcoin coming back down to 35.7. We said that was the next major level of support that Bitcoin was going to need to contend with. We did attempt a rally back up here, but we were not able to hold. Instead, Bitcoin managed to confirm this sharp, steep downtrend. I want to point something out to you. This downtrend thus far is about 2 days long. This downtrend over here was only 22 days long before we pulled out of it, and this downtrend over here was only 1 day and 18 hours long. This is already the longest, chronologically speaking, time-wise correction that Bitcoin has seen, and this fits quite concisely with the narrative that I've been sharing with you guys. Narrative sounds wrong because everybody's always calling, political things a narrative. This fits very well with the understanding that I've been trying to paint you guys that I have of the market right now, which is that Bitcoin is starting to run out of steam. And of course, this story has had somewhat of an impact on that. Now, something also to keep in mind, this correction down to this uptrending level of support happened yesterday when around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 1600 hours, 15 to 1600 hours. This correction, I only use military time because TradingView does down here on the bottom, so you can see what I'm talking about. This correction was largely started and exacerbated by that news that CZ was pleading guilty. That news came out around 3:30 yesterday. Bitcoin's recovery is the thing that I'm more interested in because the crash happened largely because of the news. The recovery is going to happen based on the fundamentals. The recovery has been weak. Had a weak recovery. We've asymptotically approached 36.8, have not even touched it. Now we've entered a head and shoulders pattern and we're moving back to the downside. All of this in correlation with a stock market that is absolutely roaring tells us that Bitcoin is not in the greatest of positions fundamentally and technically speaking, as far as the price action is concerned. Bitcoin's fundamentals are getting better, but technically speaking. Looking on the daily chart, we of course have to remember some of the reasons for that. MACD is very bearish. Has been for some time. RSI is quite bearish. We're all the way down to 55, so the bulls have lost the majority of their strength out there. Looking on the weekly chart, we've got some convergence here on the MACD. We've also got our first red weekly candlestick in over a month and a half. We've got RSI moving to the downside around 70 now, when recently it was at 75. You've also got the fact that Bitcoin has hit its 3 daily chart price target already. You can see the 3 daily buy signal came in back here in June. We've ended up hitting this price target very, very well. Bottoms at 36.7, tops at 42.707. We have rallied all the way up to the take profit, and we have hit it. On the daily chart, we've also hit our take profit because that take profit, excuse me, not the daily chart, I'm sorry. The 2 daily chart is what I'm looking at. The 2 daily chart, we've also hit our take profit here. In the daily chart, we've already hit the take profit twice. The second take profit on this buy signal was sitting right around where we hit around $38,000. So we pretty much hit all of our Lux Algo price targets. Bitcoin has, of course, been kind of folding over, trading sideways for a time. And so now we're getting into this place where we are converging and consolidating in an ascending triangle pattern. But what's going to happen from there? Are we going to see a breakout to the upside? Or are we going to see a correction? Time will tell. Right now, I am still more on the bearish side. I've been leaning in the bearish direction for the last week and a half, but I've been on the fence. Why? Because as we've learned in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, any good analyst is going to follow what the market is telling you. A good analyst is a good listener. Wisdom dwelleth in the heart of him that hath understanding. And so for us to make wise financial decisions, to have wisdom regarding the cryptocurrency market, we have to have understanding. How do we have understanding? Well, we open our ears and we listen. The market is always telling us stuff. And right now, the market is telling us, well, we're not really sure what we're going to do just yet. That's what the market is saying. That's what the market is shouting from the rooftops. We're not sure what's going to happen yet. So we don't want to be too sure either. We want to instead be prepared for both scenarios. And that's not always a popular stance to take on technical analysis because people are like, I want to know where it's going next. And I want to know now, meteorologist. Or if you don't tell me, then I'm leaving. And you know, here's the deal. I could just make stuff up and say, oh, it's definitely going to go here and shoot my credibility in the foot. Or I could tell you, look, the market's not very clear right now, but it's leaning bearish. And that's what I'm going to be able to give you based on all of my analysis. It's my dream for me to be your best technical indicator. Let me just put it that way. It's my dream for you to have one technical indicator that you go to every weekday, that being me, and you hear what I say, and you're going to be like, all right, okay, well, Jeb's been doing this for 6 years every single day. He probably has an idea about what the market's going to do. He's bearish. I'm going to do my own thinking for myself. I'm going to go through CT2A. I'm going to learn technical analysis. I'm going to look at the technical indicators myself. But I'm going to listen to him and use that as kind of a starting off point maybe. Or maybe just a voice to speak into me, to give me things to consider. And I've been kind of sideways lately because Bitcoin has been. But I have consistently been more on the bearish side ever since, I'd say, about Monday, November the 13th. I've been pretty consistently on the bearish side, been somewhere in the middle, but on the bearish side. And ever since then, Bitcoin has been spending a lot more time down below its median line of this market, which I would call 36,850, than above it. And Bitcoin has been quite bearish. So far, that seems to be the correct stance to take. From here, is Bitcoin going to crash? We're going to see. What I will say is I am somewhat encouraged by the fact that Bitcoin has bounced even after CZ pled guilty. And I really do just want to say again, good on CZ and good on Binance. And this is why I'm not more down their throat on this, because these are, obviously issues and they're criminal, right? And we can say that because they admitted to it, right? So we know that it was criminal activity that took place. We know that. I'm not more on Binance and CZ because they actually do seem to be taking steps of repentance, for lack of a better word. Actually, that is just the best word. Repentance means changing your mind and turning away from something. Normally turning away from something is wrong, right? There seems to be a level of repentance there on behalf of CZ, a level of repentance on behalf of the company, obviously headed by CZ when they did do the repenting, and there seems to be a level of taking ownership for mistakes. And so that's something that I can respect. I can respect somebody making a mistake and then turning from it, trying to do better, doing better, using that experience with sin or with criminal activity or with whatever it is to educate others and say, hey, don't do this. We made a mistake. Learn from my mistake, please. And then going on to do better. And so that's why I'm not as, not upset, but down CZ and Binance's throat about this. And I do think that the way that CZ went about this allowed for this to have the minimal, the smallest impact on the market possible. When FTX imploded upon itself, and by the way, this is a completely different situation. FTX went bankrupt and there was a bank run on them and they just exploded in a ball of flaming glory. Binance has admitted to criminal charges and they're hopefully going to be able to continue on from here, and they probably will. The impact on the market has been minimal because of the way that CZ went about it. And so I really, really appreciate that. And I will not condone or support the actions and the mistakes that he made, but I will absolutely at the same time be fair and call nonsense, stupidity, crime where it is, but I'll also call something respectable where it is, because I like to be level and fair with people. And I will say that the way that this was handled over the last 24 hours seems to have been the very best way that it possibly could have been for the market. And with that said, I'm going to read chat for a second and we're going to take a look over at Binance. Bob Doe in chat said, thanks for all the info at Crypto Jeb. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Queen's in chat. The Weed Tea is in chat. All right. Let's see. El Salvador Bitcoin City. All right. 12K ETH more likely than 12K Bitcoin. Maybe. Jeb, are you having pastales for Thanksgiving? Is Puerto Rican thing. I think you mentioned that Crypto Surge on chat the other day, and I went and told my wife. She's like, "Oh yeah, those things are great." I don't think that's in the plans. We are planning on. We just bought some pumpkin pie. We're going over to my family's house for Thanksgiving. You're gonna see all the family. I've got so much family, man. It's so funny. I grew up with just my dad and I, and then I've been like adopted into 2 different families, and so there's just a bunch of different families. There's just so much family. It's awesome. I grew up with literally just my dad and I, and now I've got so much family, and I'm just so thankful because the Lord says that God says that He will put the lonely in families, and He definitely did that for me. But yeah, we're going over there. We're gonna bring some baked mac and cheese, and they've always got some green bean casserole. And oh man, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. So we'll get on with that in the future. Ricardo F said, is Lux Algo used on the course? There is a video on Lux Algo in the course. It is my full intention to create a full separate course on Lux Algo that I am more than likely going to bundle with CT2A, and you'll probably be if you buy it with CT2A, you'll probably be able to get that Lux Algo course for like, I don't know, like 20 or 30 bucks, like nothing, basically just nothing. So that's coming in the future. Right now, there is content in CT2A for Lux Algo, and we do teach on Lux Algo, but we're going to talk about even more in the future. And that's one of the things I want to mention with CT2A. And I'll go ahead and let you guys know that today's stream is also brought to you by our very own Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, because over the last 5 years, we've been able to teach thousands and thousands of students the art form of technical analysis so that they can go forth and make money in the cryptocurrency space, so that they can build wealth for their family, so that they can become sovereign over their finances. Because I firmly believe that if you combine financial sovereignty with some manner of income and investment, for me, that has been investment in the cryptocurrency space. That's been building a business here in media in the cryptocurrency space. That's been trading in the cryptocurrency space, just working in the crypto space for over half a decade now. If you're able to combine the principles of financial sovereignty and combine them with a good, solid income and investment strategy, you will build wealth for yourself, for your family, for your children, and for your children's children, which the Bible says the righteous man does. And I firmly believe that we can teach you how to become an expert technical analyst so that you can start making money in the cryptocurrency space and continue on your journey towards financial sovereignty. So that is why we put CT2A back out there. It is back. It is live for anybody that's been wanting to buy CT2A since it's been down the last 2.5 years. It didn't go down. We took it down because we were doing some other things. I have repented and realized, wait a minute, that was not the right strategy. We had something that worked. We had something that people loved. We're bringing it back. It's here. CT2A is here for good. It's not going anywhere. We're putting more content into it. I want to have some more videos out by the end of the year. I want to be getting between 2 and 4 videos in CT2A every month. I've got to get the structure of that going right now because I'm already making almost 20 pieces of content a week right now. And I want to be able to make at least 1 video a week for CT2A coming up in that as well. And those videos are really well refined. There's a lot of work coming there, but I want more videos going into CT2A. It's my vision to have over 250 videos and almost like 50 hours of content in CT2A. And if you get the lifetime access now, you're going to get access to all of that. So make sure you check it out. Links in the description box down below. We've got a ton of videos over there teaching you analysis. We cover the basics. If you've never done any kind of analysis, how to even start using TradingView, that's a free preview. You can go watch that if you want, even without buying the course, just to see how the course looks. How to spot a winning indicator and pattern. This video is one of my favorite in the entire course. And by the way, this is also a free video. It's a preview. There's 4 free previews over here. Go watch them. How to read candlesticks charts, support and resistance, all that basic stuff that you've got to figure out just so you can get started. Then we go into the indicators and the strategies and the different actual tools that you're going to use in the technical indicator portion. Think of the introduction as you're new to analysis, you've never done it before, go here. You got your technical indicator section. This is where I'm going to teach you a lot of the indicators that we're going to be covering. More coming in the future in that category, but we've got all the basics here as well. And technical analysis, this is where we're going to put it all together into an actual strategy to analyze the markets, understand how the markets work, and then be able to trade and profit in them. If you've not already signed up for CT2A, make sure to join the people that are already signing up. I'm so excited to say that ever since launch, we've already got new people joining, which is awesome. Make sure you sign up using the coupon code in the description box down below. All right, let's continue on here. Gonna check chat, see if I'm missing anything major. Shadrach Frost in chat. Member for 26 months. Is said, from someone who loves CT2A, add this to your Christmas list. Invest in yourself and learn the gift that Jeb helps teach. Worth the money. Hashtag FinSolve. Bulletproof Dean also said, CT2A helped me with TA so much. We've got some awesome testimonials in chat. Really appreciate that, guys. Thank you so very much. And it is just so on my heart. Let me just pour my heart out to you for a second. I know we're running behind time. I am so sorry. I want to be more concise and better with time management, but I just have to say this. I am so excited that CT2A is back because I finally feel like, man, not just on YouTube, but I've actually got somewhere that people are counting on me. Like they came to CT2A, they paid the money. They said, look, I'm here to learn analysis. And that puts a burden on my heart that I love to have, where I'm like, man, I get to show up for these people. I get to show up for them and teach them analysis. I get to pour out the knowledge that I've accrued over, I was talking to someone yesterday, probably about 15 to 20,000 hours of work in the cryptocurrency space, learning analysis into this one place. And these people can come and learn analysis. And that is just the coolest thing ever. I really do believe God made me a teacher. And I have been doing that for the last 6 years here on YouTube, and I want to do more in CT2A. So thank you so much for YouTube. CT2A is back. Anyone having customer service difficulties, I haven't seen any, but if anybody is, feel free to email support@cryptojeb.com. We've got a lot of work that we're doing, especially with the holidays coming up. We're a little bit distracted with holidays right now, but especially moving into the new year, I want like 100 videos in there by the end of next year. That might be aggressive, but that's my goal. I've got a lot going on. Now, Sam XBTC said, is Lux Algo really worth it? I've heard more bad than good. Not sure where you've heard that. I would love to hear the bad because, look, I believe that when I came to the Lord, I thought to myself, I've got some questions. I've got some things that I believe that don't line up. And so I feel like if God is a God that is true, if God is a God that is just, if he's real, and he actually is the Savior, he won't be scared of some hard questions because he'll have the answers. So why would he be scared of hard questions? And he wasn't scared of hard questions. And I found the answers to my questions. And I found out, and there was all these areas where I thought, I was right, I was wrong. And he was right? So it's been my mentality ever since then that a good man, a good company, a good individual is not scared of a hard question. They are not scared of criticism. They are not scared of somebody giving them negative feedback because that's necessary. And so I'm not Lux Algo, but I do advocate for Lux Algo. And so if you think there's something bad about Lux Algo, something that's wrong, feel free to tell me because I would love to see it. I have the founder of Lux Algo on speed dial. I can call him and say, hey, look, somebody brought up this concern. I think they're onto something, maybe something that should be on your team's radar. I can do that. I can call him up and say, hey, look, I see this. Consider it. I forgot what it was. There was something that I recommended that he should create, and he actually did it. I forgot what it was, but he actually took my advice. They did it, and it's been very successful. So I have that ability. Again, I'm not a leader at the company, but I do know I'm in contact with the leadership, and I have a little bit of influence there. And I can say, hey, look, these people are saying this in my chat. I think they're onto something. Consider it. Your company, not mine. But with all respect, it might be something for you to consider. So if you've seen something bad, let me know. Did my previous comment just disappear? I don't see a previous comment, Grand Roofing. I don't know why YouTube's doing that. So apologies for that. Feel free to re-comment. Now, let's go ahead and move on here. Excuse me. We need to talk a little bit about Binance itself, the cryptocurrency. Now, Binance currently trading at 232, down 7% in the last 24 hours. That is remarkable. Let me just put that out there. That is remarkable that the founder and CEO steps down from the cryptocurrency and the market does not just absolutely tank. That is a phenomenal reality that Binance is experiencing right now. Binance was on a run. It was doing very well. It was already rallying quite a bit. It was up 10%. And then it went through this correction. Sorry, I was on the wrong screen. Went through this correction all the way down to 232. It did drop quite substantially. From absolute high to absolute low, it dropped 19% in 4 hours. Pretty big drop, right? It is. It sure is. But at the same time, the exchange is having to pay $4 billion in fines. The CEO has been found guilty, possibly facing prison time. The CEO himself has a $50 million fine that he has to pay, and he can never be executive leadership of the company again. That is not DEFCON 1. That's not absolute worst case scenario, but it's pretty dang close. That's just about as close as the company had a bank run on it and it went bankrupt. That's about as bad as that. It doesn't get much worse unless you get to the FTX situation. And the fact that Binance is merely trading about 5% lower than where it was on average a week ago. That is remarkable. That, my friends, is remarkable in multiple ways. Let me just break down a couple of those ways. Number one, it shows that there is a separation of cryptocurrency valuation and company valuation. Losing $5 billion to a fine, $4.3 billion to a fine, is naturally going to bring down the valuation of a company. Why? Well, they've got $4 billion less dollars. If you have a small lawn care business and you've got $50,000 in a checking account, if I come and fine you 20 grand, the value of your company just went down by a considerable amount. Now, you probably have a lot of hardware. The company's bank account might not be the only thing that you have in value, but you just lost a lot of value because you got fined a bunch. Same thing with Binance. Binance just lost a good bit of corporate value because it's going to have to pay $4.3 billion in fines. However, Binance was not hit very hard by that. It means that the cryptocurrency and the exchange are actually relatively separate. This is a good sign for what? This is a good sign, actually, for the SEC's lawsuit against Binance, because it shows that there is a certain degree of separation from the token and the company, and that is a very good thing, because what the SEC is trying to paint is a picture that Binance is basically the stock of Binance. The Binance coin is basically a stock of Binance and therefore a security, and therefore they are in securities violation. That is not what is being shown by this price action, because if Binance had a stock, Binance's stock probably would have dropped 30% following this. Binance, the coin, did not. And that is a very good sign. A very good sign. So what happens to Binance from here? Well, we've got a lot of charting here on the Binance token. A couple of things I want you to remember. Binance absolutely exploded in price back in very early 2021. Rallied all the way up to $700. We've been in this sideways limbo action ever since, and I still think that Binance is probably a pretty good investment. And it's really interesting to hear myself say that after they've just had that kind of news come out. But that just goes to show you how powerful of an exchanging company they are. There's a massive inverse head and shoulders pattern right here that's been painting for the last 7 months. And that's something that I'm interested to see how it's going to play out. We've talked about that in recent content. Actually, it wasn't too recent. It was several months ago. But that gives a price target of $312. Excited to see that. Overall, the price of Binance is doing quite well considering everything. There's obviously the correction that's happening from this fundamental story, but MACD is bullish. RSI bullish, broke above the 14 interval moving average. Weekly chart Lux Algo giving us a not a buy signal yet. We'd have to go pretty far, but the sell signal take profit. We basically hit that. We've been in a sell signal for a very long time. Down here on the daily chart, we've got a buy signal. We did have a sell signal yesterday on the news, but that buy signal had to take profit up here around, let's see here, on the bottom 255, on the top 282. Great job, by the way, Lux Algo. Look at this. Bottom of the take profit at 255. Look at the exact level. Like, let's turn off Lux Algo for a second. Where would you draw the resistance on this chart if you're an analyst? If you've gone through CT2A, you draw right here, right? 255, this 260 levels from earlier in the year. Turn on Lux Algo. That's exactly where it draws that, at the bottom of its take profit. But by the way, that take profit was put in place back over here. Do you see that? Do you see that? The bottom's 255. Where does the market go to? Oh, I don't know. How about 255? Right? I told Sean the other day, I was like, Sean, look. I told him the other day, I was like, look, you've got such a big community now and so many people following Lux Algo that I'm starting to wonder if it actually has the ability to call the levels on the market. Like with RSI, if RSI hits 70, a lot of times the market might reverse because so many of the traders are looking at RSI. If you hit the 200 interval moving average, a lot of times you're going to bounce off of that because the traders are all looking at it. I'm wondering if Lux Algo is widely adopted enough now that if it says this is the resistance, literally enough people are watching it that they set their sell order there and Lux Algo is actually moving the market at this point. An indicator. Because it is not just predicting what the market's going to do based on data, it is actually the one that is driving the market because it is powerful enough that so many traders are looking at. Remember, technical analysis is understanding the manifestations of the machinations of the traders. It is our job to see what are the traders doing, why are the traders doing it, and if we can understand why the traders are doing it, what they're thinking, then we can understand where the market's going to start and stop. I think enough of the traders are actually looking at Lux Algo's take profits now that it actually has the power to move the market. I could be wrong on that. I can't prove that, but that's what seems to be happening to me. Anyway, Lux Algo does have a sell signal here on daily chart. It's not confirmed yet, interestingly enough, though. I wouldn't be surprised to see Binance bounce and rally here even further. Is now a good time to buy Binance? To be honest with you, not against it. Kind of tempted to pick some up on my own. When you see a story this big come out and Binance just basically, we're good, that's a good sign. That's a very good sign. So I'm considering picking up some Binance on this news. Exact opposite of what other people would probably say right now. But I'm considering picking some up right now because of how well they held after this. $4 billion is literally nothing, not even a blip for Binance, and you know it. That's right. That's right. But $4 billion is still a lot of money. And when you see a headline, $4 billion fine, people don't know how much Binance has. Binance does have literally tens, I think well over $100 billion in liquidity. But when you read that headline on the Wall Street Journal, Binance fined $4.3 billion, a stock would normally drop catastrophically there just because $4.3 billion is such a big number. Christopher Ryan's in chat said, morning, Jeb, Bitcoin is holding strong. Consolidation is strong. That's right. All right. Shadrach Frost in chat said, folks, please take a moment and smash the like button. It takes a second to complete, but really helps the channel. Jeb comes here daily to teach us. Pay him back with love and support. Thank you, Shadrach Frost. I really appreciate that. And I also really appreciate you guys giving some testimony for CT2A. Grand Roofing Incorporated asked a very good question. Is CT2A back up and running for all the old original members or just the subscription model? CT2A was promised to be a lifetime membership, and as it has not been advertised or not been publicly available for purchase in the last 2.5 years, the very best that we've been able to anyway, there's been a few technical difficulties with Teachable, but for the most part, the promise has stayed that you will have access to it for life. Literally, just to keep the servers going, I will continue to pay Teachable their monthly payment just to make sure that you guys have access to it. And if I ever did take it down, anyway, point is, it's lifetime. Now, there's a new model where you can join CT2A now. All I did was I turned on the marketing for it again, and I started actually advertising it again. I'm going to be putting more content in there. Still in Teachable, same login. Grand Roofing Incorporated, I believe that you, my friend, were an old member of CT2A, which means that you should still be able to get into it. I understand that there might be some issues with login. A couple of people have had issues with getting in, but we're going to do everything we can to resolve that. Do have patience with us because we just turned back on a product and said, hey, look, 5,000 people, that product is now being updated again. So there's a lot of customer service that we're going to have to push through, but we're going to do our best to make sure that you guys are taken as well care of as possible. And we've got a lot of content that we're going to be putting in there, and we're going to be doubling down to make sure that that is a course that is worth every penny. It, for a long time, was considered in the upper echelons, if not the very best academy for technical analysis. And I believe that it's still there, but we're going to continue to improve it because we never want to get complacent. So yes, Grand Roofing Incorporated, you've still got access. All of those 5,000 members have still got access. It is an evolving course, and there's more content always coming. But I'm very excited to let you guys know that it's here. Very excited to let you guys know that it's here, and it's here to stay. Okay. Binance liquidity as customer fund. That's a good point, Grandpa Rock. That's true. Yes. That is true. And that's kind of what I was talking about having $4.3 billion in fines. The majority of the money that they're holding are customer funds, not corporate funds. $4.3 billion is a lot of money for that company. Like, people think, oh, BlackRock, $10 trillion company. They don't have $10 trillion. They manage $10 trillion. BlackRock's a couple $100 billion company. It manages $10 trillion, right? So that's something to keep in mind. Now, one final thing I want to mention. Lux Algo is also on sale. And if you've not gotten it with this deal is insane. And I hope that you can see in this deal the way that Lux Algo wants to treat their customers. I hope that you can see that they want to be very kind and generous to their customers because this deal is just crazy. And to be honest with you, this is a deep enough discount that I'm like, what in the world are they doing? This is crazy. You're never going to see this again. You're never going to see this deal again. I'm not hearing that from the leadership on high over at Lux Algo, but I can basically guarantee you are never seeing this again. This is insane. All right? On the annual plan, you can currently get 55% off on premium, and on the monthly plan, you can get 30% off. So down to $47.59 a month. If you look at the annual plan, you can get Lux Algo Premium for a year for only $215.94. That's remarkable. Now, something I do also want to mention. I do also want to mention, Essentials and Ultimate are here. Essential is the package with the price action concepts toolkit. It's got a bunch of different stuff in there that's a little bit simpler. It's going to be cheaper. It is the budget model, if you will. It's where you're going to get some Lux Algo, but not all the Lux Algo. Lux Algo Premium, same as always. Same as always, still here. Lux Algo Ultimate is Lux Algo and the premium backtesting scripts, the strategies, and the premium toolkits on TradingView. Community access. By the way, something I don't mention a lot, Lux Algo does also have a Discord server with like 50,000 people in it, which is pretty cool. So I don't mention that all the time, but you should join that Discord server. That Discord server is amazing. And you're going to get access to that Discord server with all three of these. So if you've not already signed up for Lux Algo, this deal lasts another 2.5 days, so you should definitely sign up. Use the link in the description box down below. All right, gonna wrap it out here in just a minute. Really appreciate all of you tuning in. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, sign up for CT2A, and don't forget about Apex, because in light of what happened with Binance, even though Binance has fared very well, it does drive us even more in that direction of DEXs. And I really believe that Apex is a great tool for you. Shane Sullivan in chat. The Weed T said, Jeb, where are you located? I am located on Earth. I'm located on Earth. I'm located in my studio. I'm located in the Milky Way galaxy. There you go. I gave you 3 answers. Shane Sullivan said, how are you? Queen said, so Shane Sullivan, how are you? All right. Good deal. Florida attorneys in chat. Yes, the comments are acting weird. It blew away another one. Strange. That's so weird. It's so strange because YouTube takes away your ability to actually do some things sometimes. And that's really kind of annoying because, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Very strange, because the thing is, we talk about sometimes you tell YouTube to do something like turn on all notifications and it doesn't do it. It's like, excuse me, I'd asked you to do this. You know, you gave me the option, so let it be my option. Anyway, hope you guys did enjoy today's stream. Do want to let you know I will not be live tomorrow. I am going to work very hard to get Climate of Crypto up and a phone video up for tomorrow, but if something has to break, then it'll probably be the phone video tomorrow, and it may just end up being Climate of Crypto. I've got so much work and so little time to do it because we're also preparing for Thanksgiving, but I'm going to make sure you guys are taken care of, and we're going to have at least content up tomorrow and the next day. Plan on doing the stream on Friday at the regular time, so I will see you guys then. Make sure that you guys sign up for some of those deals, because the next time you will see me live will be on Friday, and those deals will be almost over. So make sure to sign up for Apex, Lux Algo, and CT2A. You can find the discounts for CT2A and Lux Algo in the description box down below. And make sure to go ahead and take advantage of those deals while you have them. Everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Make sure that you guys stay on your financial sovereignty journey. Continue to be thankful, and give somebody a hug. People love hugs. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good